Hello everyone, I'm Coyote Jack and this is another one of women fuck it up and that being alone and now they are doing this and it's still men's fault. And I'm going to read you this shitty ass article from The Guardian because at least there is an important report going on here. Motherhood on ice. Lack of suitable men drives women to freeze their eggs. A lack of equal male partners rather than career or educational ambitions is why more women are trying to prolong their fertility. Feminism, sexual liberation from women lead to this. And I'm proud more and more men are finally waking up and not engaging these hoes. If they want to have their pink taco used as many times as they want, and they are afraid no more men want to engage with anyone, even if they're supposed to be a virgin. I doubt there is still a virgin after the 14th because, yeah, this is a fuck up war. Let's continue with the article. Selfish career driving women. Gullible dupes of the fertility industry. Victims of the patriarchy. And there we go. There you go. What did I say? They they try to become men, finding careers, and they are surprised they can't find a man because they already got in a position of power that men usually used to be, and they want something equal than her to win the same money, be in the same career position. But hey, they brought this on themselves, so I don't have sympathy for them. I'm going to continue. When leading anthropologist Marcia C. Inhorn first embarked on her decade-long study for why women freeze their eggs. A long decade, a decade just to figure out why. Seriously. Something that can actually be explained in this video. But yeah, I'm going to shut up a little in that rant. The popular narrative was largely one of derision, sorry, derision. Yeah, sorry, uh, quote unquote. There was a lot of either blaming women or saying that they are naive, stupid, and so forth. End quote. Said a Yale professor from a red armchair in her home in New Haven, Connecticut. Meanwhile, in academic circles, egg freezing was and still is often seen as a calculated act by women to hack their fertility by prolonging it through medical intervention, as if in quote unquote, as if this was something very intentional that women were doing in this kind of plant. An almost feminist narrative says. Almost feminist. Now I'm going to get in this rant. I said it. Yeah, they try to be men. They pursue those long careers. They got indoctrinated in feminism. Men now they are finally waking up and don't want to be involved with women anymore. So, and for the record, uh, women fertility is shorter. They are an expiration date. That's why they should have stayed at home in the kitchen, being faithful to a guy who actually, if they choose a correct guy, or because yeah, at the end of the day, women chose the guys who are in who want to spend their time and live live their normal life, honestly. But yeah, but they decided to become men, pursuing these careers. taking away jobs of men in certain careers. There's proof of why women fuck it up in certain careers. All why they want men going to the most dangerous jobs as always has been, and they still don't recognize they are in a privileged position. That's what it is, privileged position. All right. Yeah. Now we explain this. Let's indulge in this rabbit hole. This argument was so compelling that it formed one of their initial hypotheses. It is career and educational aspiration that is driving the tunnel to freezing, ex-freezing. Yes, it is. Yes, it fucking is. If they take long careers, they are going to be in an age past 20s, almost 30s, and then they are going to hit the wall, and their fertility is finally over. This is this is stupidity. But when she started speaking to women, it became almost immediately clear that in fact it was something or someone else driving the global expanding trend, which is in less than a generation has gone from unheard of to, in some circles, almost ubiquitous. I hope I spelled that correctly. More than 150 interviews later, her research, the largest anthropological study to date into why women freeze their eggs, concluded that it was men. Yeah, there we go. Blaming men for their feminist stupidity indoctrination of why they still blaming men for everything, and they want to make make more men go like betas, simping for women and being their slaves. And I already started with relationships to other guys when I was in college. They got one of them got fucked out so hard. This this woman used him to graduate and have a degree across 4 years. And at the last moment on graduation, she broke up with him, and then she went on a Huin across US, married to a rich guy, and now she had it easy way. Yeah, that's why I don't trust women, at least modern women at this point. Yeah, I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all. And well, let's continue. Not women. I can even make a fake laugh. Who were the problem? The biggest driving factor for women in the US was a shortage of suitable educated men, a problem which she terms in her forthcoming book Motherhood on Ice, the Mating Gap. Finding suitable educated men. You took that away when you decided that you are going to college and invade these places. Women across college in US, as far as I'm concerned, they are almost 70%. Men don't want to go to college anymore because they figured out that they can make more money doing certain jobs uh, rather than going to college and spend waste their time in a useless degree that is not to give them any kind of favor. And even that the US college is now so fucking woke, they they give useless degrees as gender studies. Imagine that. Imagine a woman, well, a woman and women in general waste their lives in a gender studies degree, just like this, like this one. Honestly, like this one. uh, I'm going to continue. Income's research found that women freeze their eggs tended to be in their late 30s. Yeah, because they are about to hit the wall. Successful high earning professionals in both the US and the UK, where it's not usually covered by the NH. Yeah, UK is the origin of feminism, as far as I know, and they are so the range. And primarily single. They were one after another women who had been successful in their career and at the same time had been looking for a partner, but they just couldn't find a reproductive partner. Yeah, because maybe you got in a position of power, or maybe because you feel so high on your ass that you say, "Oh, I have a degree. I'm going to marry a man equivalent to me, equal to me, or even he needs to gain more money than me." Men don't do that. They rather want a girl who works as a waitress and find date with her, and actually she's actually someone who he feels to commit. He would rather marry with her, make kids, and being a normal life where the guy is the provider and the woman is the one taking care of the house, because that's where traditional women, and of course this were traditional men, but it's gone. It's fucking gone. that that thing such as traditional families is gone, and even if you can actually have the chance to have it, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's a risk. Just look at Steven Crowder. He got divorced, and he was a guy who did it like he self-proclaimed says, did the correct thing. Find a woman with traditional values, but at the end of the day, yeah, divorce. And even if across, and he is not a good example, there are others almost like him where they did the correct thing, and because of this female liberation, feminism, and social media in, in poisoned the minds of their wives, and well, we are here now. Let's continue. This, she says, reflects the growing gap between men and women going into higher education. In 2019, there were 28 more percent women than men in higher education in the US, and soon it is projected there will be 2 university-educated women in America for every one university-educated man. This says Inghorn has left a stark imbalance when it comes to finding an equal partner. This educational gap is not limited to the US. There are growing education gender disparities in Canada and Europe, particularly in the UK. The quote-unquote men as partners problem, says Inhor, has been a discourse in the international reproductive health circles for some time, but is usually talked about in a relation to poorer countries, quote unquote. It's talked about for men when in the global south. Now we need to start talking about the men as partners problem for women in the global north. Many of the women in Horn spoke to say they wanted an egalitarian relationship, which often means finding someone with a similar level of education. What did I say? What did I say? Ah, true hurts like a bitch, but a bitch like a woman that is indoctrinated in this bullshit hurt man or even a single guy in the most nasty ways, and I already saw it. Ah, well, which often mean finding someone with a similar level of education. But among those who did not object to partnering, with somebody less educated, it is still proved to be a problem because the men were often intimidated by this. Look at this fucking nonsense. The success of the women. They call this success? Really? Really? Women chase away men. Women most affected. uh, some women resorted to toning down their educational achievements. This is just for sniffing. On their dated app profiles to avoid putting men off, while others hired professionals to help them with their profiles. Oh, please, help me to protect that I am a successful woman. I might better than this man, but I need to be engaged with them because I want a family. Help me hide my success. I'm suffering from my success. They make it that meme real. Woo. Welcome to Clown World. Let's continue. Quote unquote. And sometimes men will joke or insult them about their jobs or say, "You're smarter than I am. I can go out with you." I mean, just really blatant kinds of misogyny and discrimination. This is just comedy. uh, while the women may have been socialized to believe they could have a career, a family, and an equal relationship. No. For women, you can have three. You cannot have three. It's either one of those: a career, a family, or an equal relationship. And, and still, at the end of the day, women choose to who to be with. They decide what kind of man is suitable for her to be with, and they want a alpha male that hook up with many women. The jokes write themselves. She found out the men had not necessarily been raised by the same way. No, and that's true. Partnership was not high on the priorities of the men. Reluctant to commit and unready for fatherhood, who the women in her study were coming across. I saw actually fathers commit to their kids, especially one I know where he's a father of a girl, and he actually he's engaging in how to develop her skills in TI and technology, all while at the same time he is giving him the joys of manga and anime. And that for me is the most traditional father adapting to modern times. And I know a father who engaged with his son with this, and he tries to understand it because he knows fatherhood is there, and there still needs to be some joy. They need to be kids, but at least more time change. The kind of content and entertainment for kids change, but that's what it is. Then there were those who simply didn't want to, quote unquote, I'll learn the term the Peter Pans. You know, the men who will never grow up. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, I know some guys like that. I know some of them. It's true. But my point still stands. These quote unquote Peter Pans, they are the kind of bad guy who women keeps getting attracted. So shut the fuck up. They may be educated men who have money and so forth, but they want to play around and have a lot of fun. I may not partner at all, and may not partner well into their 40s and 50s, she says. But you still want to be engaged with them. You still want that kind of guy because it's in your nature. Let's continue. On a personal level, Inhor, who is a mother of two, who would have opted for egg freezing after getting divorced in her 30s had it been available. She said the lack of progress in men's attitudes since then is a lack of progress in men's attitudes. Yeah, man, you should be submitted into my demands. You should be a slave to all my whining and bitching. It's true. Women, it's not worth committing. Let's continue. Quote unquote. A lot of the people I went to graduate school with didn't end up partnering or they partnered in marriages that weren't really very happy, she says. Quote unquote. And what is surprised me 30 years on seeing the same kinds of partnership problems in this generation of women and trying to figure out what's gone wrong. The answer Einhorn research found falls in two categories. One is the mating gap, and the other is what she described as quote unquote reproductive waithood. The state women are forced into by a lack of suitable male partners. Yeah, the same fucking shit. You try to justify women poor decisions. I can understand that they want a guy that wants to be interesting. But the thing is, they have a twisted mentality in how a guy should be interesting, and oftentimes that interesting things it always involves money. That's a truth statement. It always involves money, and I'm not going to deny that. Yeah, sometimes you have to spend money on it, but like I mean, if you want to get me going broke, no, fuck that. I prefer watching anime girls. Because they don't, at least if they're going to read my money, I still will enjoy it, and you don't, and that's bringing me some joy. Of the 550 women she interviewed, 36 froze their eggs for medical reasons, and the rest were healthy women who did so out of choice. Yeah, quote unquote out of choice. Put that in quotes because they had a choice, but they fuck it up. All of the women who froze their eggs electively were cisgender. Yeah, so heterosexual. I despise that word because the whole alphabet soup. But hey, more guys identifying as women and taking away their places they took away from men. Yeah, honestly, I support that. Three of the women were bisexual and 111 were heterosexual. Cisgender. No. Stupid shit. While she did not interview men for her study and says that she does not wish to portray them as all as colors, there were many positive men in the lives of the women. She interviewed, she says, almost invariably the women's stories of egg freezing were about men. So the book is, quote unquote, the views of men through women eyes. Her findings home in the decline of men, which is a growing cause of alarm in the US, which books on the subject by Professor Scott. Honestly, I'm just getting fucking tired. This is just women freezing their eggs because they know they fuck it up in becoming men. And I'm going to be real with you. If I want a man, I will be gay, but I'm not. So this women trying to be like men. Fuck no, I don't want a man. I don't want men. I want women if I want a relationship. But the way they are behaving now, no, it's not worth. I'm not that old, but maybe in a decade I will be. I'm going to see more and more the results of the fucking stupid actions, and I'm going to laugh. I don't fucking care if I end up alone. Still, I'm going to work for myself, focusing on my job, making money to survive, because times get more difficult and difficult. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to be ripped off by a woman who ends up divorcing me if I end up getting married to her and then taking my house, my stuff, my money, and always end up paying until I get in jail because I cannot pay anymore, just like guys in the US. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm going to leave you this article if you want to keep reading on it, but this we went full circles on it. This is the result of female liberation and feminist agenda. Again, I've said it before, and I'm going to keep repeating it because the facts are there. That's pretty much everything. I hope you have a great weekend, and I I already said you. Even if you are alone, if you're a guy and you're alone, focus on yourself. You're a guy almost going to the I call it to become a grandpa kind of age. Don't be sad, don't be depressed. You can still find ways to entertain yourself and enjoy the clam show. Have a great weekend.